Hello everyone, welcome. It is Ed with Brain MTG. I'm hanging here with Paul from Centerpiece Collectibles, and we're discussing a couple of things. Buy listing and the shows coming up for Magic. I guess it's not Magic 30 anymore. They renamed it, because, previously it was in Charlotte, and then they moved it
Yeah,
to
I was excited
Philly.
for Charlotte. It was closer.
I know, it's closer to you.
Yeah.
But they moved it because of room to play.
Okay,
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Let's talk about it.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
All right, guys. So we are discussing a couple of things. We're discussing what I was doing at MTG 30 in Vegas and like what my plans are for Philly in February. And then we were also talking about buy listing. And I was telling Paul how I just went through all my cards and I pulled out a bunch for buy listing, and I pulled out a bunch that I'm going to do repacks stuff, maybe something like that for people with. But like the main point I wanted to make to him was I was showing him this was like, check out Laboratory Maniac from Ultimate Masters. Freaking uncommon, $3.58 buy list, credit at Card Kingdom.
You probably got a stack of those in a box somewhere.
Yeah, I got a couple, you know what I mean? And it's like, if I could take that and turn into something real, like that's totally worth it. Coming up in February, that's what I intend on doing. And what I intend on doing is getting oddball stuff. Like APAC land sealed. I got that roll of wrappers, stuff like that. So you were saying you want to come too, and like, you got a buy list, bro.
Yeah,
like,
I'm gonna, and that can make the trip worth it for me, right? If I go through a lot of my old cards and bring stuff to buy list, it'll make the whole trip.
You have a ton of both because you are more of a dealer, so you end up with a lot more stuff than like people like me, and I even end up with a lot from the flea market.
I actually have a massive collection.
That's
right now.
what I'm saying.
I have unplayed stuff from Antiquities, Legend, all Four Horsemen. It's just crazy.
Wow,
so
that's crazy. Yeah.
And some of it, might not even be right to buy list it. I probably got to look through it for grading.
So there you go. So there's another.
It's probably too nice to buy list.
There's a lot of people who'd be willing to trade with you there too. You know, and so like I really think it's a kind of a good opportunity for being in person. You know what? And some people are a little anal. I wouldn't say anal. A little protective of their cards when it comes to like submitting them for grading. Which CGC is going to be there, I think, because they were there at the last
one. There's a lot of level of trust with that.
You know what I mean? And with sending your cards to buy list. So if you're there in person and you could go through the cards with them.
That's a good point.
And, and you could have a discussion about condition and the value of cards and individual, so I think there's a certain value to that. I think going to Philly is going to be pretty awesome. I mean, when I was going through my cards, I didn't have as much buy list fodder as I would have liked. But that's because some of it I'm like, damn, that's too good a condition, or that's like, oh, that's reserve list. I don't want to.
But again, maybe just bring it and maybe you trade up into something better.
True. And I wasn't expecting that last time. That drop of honey that I got, that was unexpected. I just brought a wad of cards and I'm like,
that was a nice card.
Yeah, exactly. And it's a gradable, like, it's a little off center. Like there's an issue or two. It's like an 8.5, but like, hey.
But it comes down to like, would I rather have that stack of junk I traded or the drop of honey?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Every freaking time, I'd rather take that drop of honey. And when you look at your cards and you see a stack of $50 cards, it's like, oh, I don't want to let them go. It's good cards. Like I was even stuff like the Wandering Emperor foil that I got from Kamigawa. Great card, alt art. It was 200 and something buy list at one point. Now it's 100 and something. But what am I sitting on that for? I have two.
You have no attachment to that card, really. No.
The drop of honey, but still, when you pull the card, it's like, oh, I'm holding on to my $100 card, you know. But then, like, the minute I let go of it, I can give a crap,
That's how you scale up into bigger and better things.
That's what I'm saying. And maybe it'll help you make a smarter decision with your credit too, because you're like, I gave up some of my precious. You
scale all that stuff and channel it up into an Urza's box or something.
So like that's what I called it. My economics. How I looked at my collection, and always when I was buying and selling, is a snowball economics. Building it up and densifying it. And then that helps when you chop off a segment every once in a while and you're buy listing that and you're buying something solid, like even, I used to do it for like $20 cards and lower, but even doing it for $50, $100 cards of these modern cards that just get reprinted and smacked down all the time. I don't know. There's something about turning a pile of janky BS into something real, It's very satisfying. And Philadelphia is going to be an awesome opportunity for those of you who've never tried it before, those of you who are skittish, those of you who want to see what's going to be, what you're going to trade in for. I really think you do great.
Yeah, I'm going to try and go.
I think, you can find some real gems. Like you as a seller, like you can find some real items there. I think you'll do well, especially if you're buy listing to get those types of items, like turning some freaking laboratory maniacs into some real hits, like here's one, was it Pyroblast from Ice Age?
Okay.
It's like $1 card, I think it's like common. Silly things like that.
I know I have a stack of 30 or 40 of those in my house.
That's what I'm saying.
Ice Age
like, $30 or $40 in credit for that.
Right.
Like, what do you care?
Right.
Are you gonna really go through the pain of selling, 10 Ice Age partial sets and then sell the other 20 of those? So just
Now, how will that work? Like at the event, let's say I have 30 of that card.
So
do they have a maximum level they'll take?
Some places do.
Okay.
And that's the thing. There's multiple vendors there, so I wouldn't worry about it.
There
was plenty of vendors buy listing the whole time.
Okay.
Like lines and lines of people. And yeah, I think this is a good opportunity. And you know what? You guys don't have to go to Philly. There's going to be more Magic events. There's going to be another one in Vegas at the end of the year. So even you people in Europe, there's not much buy listing actually in Europe. So maybe this is the event to actually trade in your cards for some major stuff. Look forward to the gathering part of Magic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, it's something to think about when you think about these events. And another thing, like I was saying before, like we finally have the Odyssey hang in, I don't know what you want to call it, mobile. It's like a promotional item. I didn't get this from the show, but at the show, there's strange and oddball items like this, a little bit more esoteric and rare things. That's what I'm going to be targeting with my buy list. And I think that's like, in the long term, it has some potential that very few people have started to realize. We'll see. Like it's a niche thing, but I think it's a niche that has potential, put it that way.
That's the coolest part for me too about going to shows and events. Like when you actually put your eyeballs on these things, you can scour the internet and look at eBay all you want for different things, but when you actually go to an event, you can see things that it's really unique.
There was a lot of cool stuff there just to even look at. It was like a museum of magic, and that's just great. I can't wait for Philly. It's gonna be a good time. You should come, Paul.
I'll try.
Definitely. But anyway, in the meantime, before you go to Philly, subscribe to Paul at Centerpiece Collectibles. Remember to give me a like and subscribe on today's video. Comment, let me know what you're going to be buy listing in Philly because, it's an interesting opportunity. Otherwise, check out the Patreon, the channel membership, all of the fun things, and remember to have a wonderful day. Peace.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over. What the fuck are we gonna do now? What are we gonna do?
Maybe we could build a fire, sing a couple of songs, huh? Why don't we try that?
I do it all the time. I catch myself looking crazy sometimes, sitting there at the camera. You know what I mean?
Cut that out.
Well, I might add this segment before we start talking. I'll chop it out and put it at the end. It's like I've been doing outtakes. Yes,
Outtakes are cool.
Yes, indeed.
People love outtakes.
Yes, indeed they do. And at the end, it's like if people talk about it, they watch to the end.
Yeah.
You know?